simple and plain. That's why I play the game. To be the best, you have to win. And that's what drives me.
He's the best player in the game. It's just that simple. There's nothing that Kobe Bryant can't do. He will defend your best player. He will shoot from the perimeter. He will get all in your mug. He will do whatever it takes. He is the most complete basketball player in the game today, bar none. He has an assassin's mentality. I said this when the trade went down, and I'll repeat it again. Who's starving more for an NBA World Championship more than Kobe Bryant? There is no one. This guy is highly
Check.
From the pack. More than Kobe Bryant.
Titties. Big ass titties.
2-4 on my shirt. He the greatest on the court, and I'm the greatest on the verse. Going for the fourth ring like it was his first.
Check. Titties, big ass titties. It's EJ, Verge, it's Tiff. Special guest in the building. Another family member, my cousin Nene, Nichelle. I don't know. What do you want me to call you on here? Nene?
Yeah, Nene's good.
All right, cool. TJ will be joining us shortly. In an ironic twist, he's the late one, and I'm here early. I guess a sad day. Like, we're still hung over emotions. It's our first show since Kobe Bryant has passed. Like, rest in peace, Kobe. I don't know. All of us are from LA, so we're gonna touch on it quickly, and I'm sure it'll progress into some other topics and other things. But just taking a moment to just say, you know, rest in peace, Kobe, and just being appreciative of them, and Gigi as well. Excuse me, please don't let me forget.
And 9 other people that passed away too.
Yeah, the 7 other passengers.
We were outside talking about this, and Verge had brought this up. He felt that the people weren't properly speaking about or acknowledging the others that have passed.
They wasn't. It was just like, oh, okay, they died. All right. It's sad, but it's all right. Next.
And I agree to disagree in that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really hear people. All I see is Kobe. I don't see nobody like, oh, all 9 of them died, and we feel sad for their family. It's just like Kobe died, we sad for their family. Even I did that, so, and I have not heard nobody else. They say Kobe, daughter, done.
No, people have said the several other passengers, but nobody is going into depth about them the way they're going into depth about Kobe Bryant for obvious reasons.
I mean,
if Kobe Bryant wasn't on that helicopter and that helicopter crashed, it would be a news story that would say one night. That would be one night of news. A helicopter crash.
But it shouldn't be.
It was a terrible loss. Do you know how often planes crashes and people pass away?
It don't happen like that, but I feel like in this
situation,
situation,
it does happen like that.
We're not in America like that.
What America you live in? No, I'm not talking about 9/11. 9/11 was a terrorist attack. That was different. I'm saying people die every single day.
Oh, well, yeah, that happened. But it's still like
in tragic ways. Car accidents.
Yeah,
the whole family dead. Nobody
say nothing.
Exactly, because it's about impact. You don't know those people. Those people, of course, your heart breaks for their family and those that knew them. But to think that they're going to get the same public space as somebody who was a public figure doesn't make sense.
I know people don't like this, but it's Kobe fault they got on the helicopter.
How?
How's it Kobe?
I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm going to just make you defend it.
Come on, let's go. Let's go on the helicopter. We do this all the time. Let's go fly over to my little camp, whatever the basketball thing is.
That's your choice.
Yeah, it is. But they friends. He's like, you know, he probably talked him into it. Probably had something else to do.
Why would he talk him into it? It's simple. Do you want to take the helicopter?
Now, look, okay. Now, let's do, now I'm going to give you the example that I gave you outside. That's like a nigga who ride the bus. You die in a car accident. And niggas be like, I bet you he wish he rode that bus. That's Verge's fault that they died in that car accident because, you know, Verge always want to drive. Could have just got on the train.
But that's not the same because I wouldn't ride
No, that's your mode of transportation. Kobe's normal mode of transportation was that helicopter. So that's just your normal mode of transportation. We just take for granted how often we get to arrive at our destination safely and arrive back at home safely. We just take that for granted in the modes of transportation that we're in.
But why did it crash?
We don't know yet.
We don't know. Yeah, they're still investigating.
What happened.
They don't got the black box in there. The wife didn't ever want the black box in there, so there's no black box, no video recording, no none of that.
But it's still elements and there's still things that they can investigate that'll help them come to a conclusion and figure out like, oh, what's what and who's, you know, what the situation was.
Either way, we don't know why the helicopter crashed.
All I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying, as people, I feel like Kobe died. And yes, we feel sad because he's more famous. I don't care if he's famous.
You can
but you should
feel
have that
it.
same. But I feel like no, but they don't because it's not like they. I know they don't because people be like Kobe. And they barely say the daughter name. Like, they barely saying her name.
Exactly, because that's who had the impact.
Yeah.
You're talking about the person that made the great impact on your life.
But I'm saying
that's just the
fame
facts.
shouldn't mean this much to nobody.
It's not just fame.
It's not about fame, though, bro. Like, that's what
ring?
no. That's not about fame. That's what we have to acknowledge. That's like saying that why we don't celebrate everybody like we celebrate Martin Luther King.
There were plenty.
You really feel like that?
Yeah, I always feel like that.
So you feel like Hitler should be celebrated like Martin Luther King?
I mean, in Germany they do.
No,
they don't.
You don't even
they
speak
don't.
Hitler's name in Germany.
Don't he got a statue over there?
No. Everything that has anything to do with Nazis and Hitler was removed completely.
It's a crime to mention his name. To say Hitler, it's a crime. You'll go to jail.
Nah, okay. But still, I feel like anybody that dies, I mean, as long as you're not a bad person and you don't do nothing evil, you should get the same recognition as Kobe.
So why does evil cancel you of good don't make you excel?
I mean, if you're killing people, you're just evil. You have no real good reason why you're doing this killing people.
But they're a person, right?
Yeah.
So isn't that the same reason why you saying? But even
Kobe,
though, like,
Kobe ain't no same
if we not making,
like,
if we not making no segregation, I mean, like, if we not making no special exceptions for good, why we making special exceptions for bad?
And then we should do fine. We should just do it for everybody then.
That's
I mean,
not,
to me,
not possible.
To me, I just like I said, like if I hear people on the news die, 10 people die, 9 people, it could be 2 or 3. I feel like it shouldn't just be Kobe all the time. Recognize.
No, we like people have recognized that one of the guys that
one day, like
no.
And that's
what you're failing to realize
what
is
they would have got if Kobe wasn't on that.
No, not even that.
Now,
the fact of the matter is this.
No, right now, nobody. I would be like, oh, the rest of the parents.
It's not that. I don't know them.
Oh, that's cool. I don't know Kobe. I know what Kobe did.
You do know Kobe, or you wouldn't be saying his name right now.
I don't
Tell
know.
me the name of the other people.
I don't know. Like, how old is Kobe? How old is Kobe?
41.
When is his birthday? When was he born?
That is
41 years ago.
You're talking about
well, I know
if Kobe Bryant walked in this room,
I know exactly when he was born because I
him.
researched everything. But I'm just asking, like, people don't really know Kobe.
So what I'm saying is, okay, so this is what I'm saying.
I don't know his mom and dad.
If Kobe
What's mama name? What's his mama name? I don't
Joe
know
and
his
Pam.
name.
Virgil.
Okay, I don't know him.
If Kobe Bryant walked in this room right now, would you know it was Kobe Bryant?
Yeah.
If the little girl that was on the plane that played basketball with his daughter walked in this room, would you know who she was?
No.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
So you can't say, oh,
but
we don't know Kobe.
Okay, put it like this.
We don't know.
We blood related. You die, I'm gonna feel hurt. Kobe died was hurt. Like the next day, I was like, cool.
Exactly.
Because the next day was your birthday.
The next day was my birthday, but I still would have been cool. Because, like I said, the other 9 people don't feel no way for them. I'm like, oh, for sure.
That's not
Kobe
true.
shouldn't get the same,
okay, so this is the
same
problem.
thing.
You're only looking at people who were impacted by Kobe. The other gentleman that died on that plane was a JUCO baseball coach for Orange Coach.
Okay.
They referred to that man as a legend.
Okay, what about the other
No. Understand, a legend.
Okay.
His wife was an Orange County basketball coach at a private high school in Orange County. There are people who loved her. I'm sure if you go talk to those people, they're probably celebrating her more than they're celebrating Kobe.
But they really know them. Like,
exactly.
Really,
no.
They grew up. I grew up watching Kobe, but I don't know Kobe.
Exactly.
I've seen Kobe.
But you have more of a relationship. You knew Kobe existed. You didn't know these other people existed before this crash, did you?
No.
No.
But I'm pretty sure with no basketball.
Not only did you hold on. Not only did you acknowledge,
I would not know Kobe.
But that's not. We're not living in ifs. We living in the reality of what something is right now. We're not gonna live in ifs. We have to live in what the reality of something is. Because if it was an if, if Kobe would be alive right now.
Okay.
So we're not gonna do that.
Okay.
What it's gonna be is we're gonna deal in the reality of what the situation is. You knew who Kobe was before this crash.
I knew of him.
Did you even know what Orange Coast College was?
Like, I knew of him. Like, I'm not.
No, fuck that.
I know him.
Let's get down to it real quick.
I don't know.
Okay, hold on.
I know Kobe. I don't know.
Listen, let me give some context. Okay, so when we say you know Kobe, we don't mean you know Kobe's birthday. You know what Kobe likes to eat in the morning. Yeah. You know what his favorite. We're not talking about know him intimately, like you know your cousin or your best friend.
Yeah.
We're talking about if Kobe Bryant was walking down the street, you would be able to readily recognize.
It's Kobe.
Hey, that's Kobe Bryant. He plays basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers. You know that he is a public figure.
Has any moment Kobe ever Kobe ever created provided you any joy in your life?
No. Why would he do it? How would he do it?
Verge,
How
hold
would
on, stop.
he do
Verge,
it? Kobe
Verge,
and my
Verge,
life.
Stop.
Okay, go.
So you gonna tell me you never seen a game-winning shot and got excited? You never went to a Laker parade and had fun?
No, I never went to a parade.
Verge is much younger. I don't think Kobe means
I think we gotta put that in context.
Because I seen
you never been in a house when a game when it shot. Like nigga, I know your mother and father.
Yes, they went crazy.
And that didn't provide you no type of joy in your life at all.
No.
Okay.
It's not.
And I understand you're younger, so that's cool. You might just be a different generation.
But anybody with fame don't like if they did something great.
Nigga, that's a lie. You love Rick James.
Oh yeah, because he remind me of me. That's really it. Kobe don't remind me nothing of me. Kobe remind me, you just Kobe.
So Kobe did not.
So Kobe's winning mentality, Kobe's work ethic, those weren't things that you could relate to when you played. The practice you put into and like anything. No, not basketball, not basketball. And that's the point that Kobe makes when he say, "Can you be two different animals in the same beast?" That's exactly what he means when he says that in that commercial.
It'll be more Michael Jordan than Kobe. Because I don't forget shit. And so I'll hold on to that.
So how the fuck can you remember Michael Jordan and not remember none of the shit Kobe gave? How the fuck can Michael Jordan? Nigga, you weren't even alive.
You saying what I have more in common with. I'm saying I have nothing in common. He like winning. That's cool, but I don't really want to work
And who did Kobe model himself after?
Jordan. But you not hear what I said?
That's like a nigga saying, I fuck with EJ, but I don't like Verge. How the fuck you don't like Verge? Verge is little me.
But not him. I be little things I do different from you still.
So tell me what Jordan does that
I'm just
makes
saying, like, just the way he won't forget shit, I do the same way. I like to win. Like, win. I'm very
And what did Kobe like?
Kobe didn't like to win.
Kobe like winning, but Kobe was only basketball. I want to win in basketball. I like to win.
Are you serious? The nigga won an Oscar a year after he retired, nigga. Michael Jordan ain't had a winning season as a GM yet.
Kobe already said it. Kobe said, and when him and Michael Jordan get
together,
Michael
Jordan is doing what he knows and still can't succeed, nigga. No, nigga, understand something. You doing what you know how to do and can't succeed at it. That's what Michael Jordan is doing right now.
He's watching it. He's picking plays to go out there and go play.
That nigga picked Kwame Brown. Michael Jordan, do you know that?
But I'm saying, like, if he was out there, he would win, right? He's not out there. It's not how he worked.
Bro, my point is this. Kobe went into a whole nother field. Kobe went into financial, went into hedge funds, and fucking won an Oscar as a movie creator. Everything that man do, he attacked and won at. And you're telling me about a nigga who can own
3 things.
What is 3 things? What did Jordan won at?
Oscar. What you talking about?
Businessman, father.
He's just a competitor.
No,
he's just a competitor.
Jordan ain't no good father.
No, I'm talking about Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe's a great father.
What has Mike done other than basketball?
What you mean?
What you mean?
Played golf.
Off the black community,
made a movie. Beat space aliens.
No, I'm talking about in reality. Like,
he really made a movie though.
He didn't make a movie.
And he made $1 billion as a black man.
He played in a movie and he sells.
He did just as much as Kobe did.
You named 2 things, bro.
I said
Jordan
made $1 billion.
Don't fuck with his kids. Jordan is divorced.
Okay.
Jordan kids don't fuck with. Jordan got a lesbian daughter he don't talk to, don't acknowledge.
Don't none of his kids talk to him.
No, that's not true. Marcus do. Marcus do. Marcus still fuck with him.
Okay.
Jordan the nigga. Whatever.
So that's what you like to model after?
No, I'm not saying it, but I'm just saying like.
So no, but that's what you relate to.
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all kind of do relate to a lot of things. You just said I kind of do relate to a lot of things.
Not fucking with your kids.
We already had this conversation about that whole thing up here before. You said if my kid was gay, I wouldn't fuck with him. I would love you, but I can't fuck with you, bro.
Okay, so what about his other son who's not gay, who tried to play basketball and beat Jeffrey?
But what about Jeffrey? What he do that I don't like?
Nothing, nigga. He just wasn't a great basketball player.
Shit. I mean, he probably just don't like that. I don't know.
All right, cool, my nigga.
I'm just saying.
I want you to listen to what you saying, though, bro.
I really do relate to Jordan more than I do to
But
Kobe.
how, though?
But I wouldn't feel sad if Jordan died either, so it wouldn't even matter.
Okay, so move on.
I just don't understand how a nigga can acknowledge and love the life of Rick James.
I love that guy. I love that guy.
Oh, I relate to him. This nigga is smoke cracked.
It got that rock star.
Smoke cracked.
This is a situation
with a
where
T.
Virgin
Smoke cracked.
age is showing.
What? No, but he was a
into
great
this
human being. Always had fun. Made people feel happy.
We have to
he say all the time. People say all the time about Rick James, interviews and everything. Lovable guy. People love him. It's not like he walked in, people didn't love him. He did crack, but people still loved him.
He tortured.
Okay. I mean, Kobe Bryant raped the girl. Like, if we...
Did he?
Shoot.
Do you know the details of that?
Shoot. Michael Jackson raped kids. We don't... Like I said, like...
See, this is the point.
We'll guess and be like... Because we be like, oh, we like him. Probably didn't do it. That's what people do. And he could have done it.
I don't do that.
I'm just saying. We still love him. And if he did find out he really did do it, people be like, oh, whatever. It's still Kobe.
Say that.
That's not true, my nigga. We gave a whole episode and a half to Aaron Hernandez, who was a celebrity who did something and we still sat there and acknowledged everything that he did.
He didn't have time like Kobe did that make people really like you said, people love Kobe. And people found out about Kobe, people would be like, no. Like R. Kelly. People that love R. Kelly's like, we got evidence, but it's still like, no. That's how people
There's
are.
There's always going to be a group of people who are that way, but that's not the totality. I feel like there are way more people that are done with R. Kelly than are still protected.
R. Kelly was
okay, in reality, how many people have you heard in the media, in any avenue of anything that you've seen with Kobe, how many of those people have brought up that rape stuff? Do you feel like it's been 50-50 with the people who've shown and told other stories about Kobe?
No, they ain't brought it up at all.
Okay, so right there, that your whole point is defunct. Your whole point of it's probably 50-50 with Kobe, because the evidence of what you've seen is not 50-50, so that statement is not for you to make. So you can't go and make a statement of, it's probably 50-50 when you ain't seen no evidence to that nowhere. That's not your statement to make.
I wasn't saying it was happening. I'm just saying that people, if they did find out that he did do it, a lot of people would be like,
but again, you're dealing in ifs. You're dealing in ifs.
We don't even know if he did. So we're still in the
ifs. Exactly. So why are we doing with that? Why are we dealing with an if?
You don't know something, then there is no if.
Hold on. No, stop. Put yourself in that position. If you was found innocent of something, would you want people to still sit around and debate if you guilty or not of it?
They ain't gonna have no debate because I'm gonna get the facts. Kobe didn't get no damn facts. He won the case. What?
What you got to do to win a case?
OJ won a case.
That's not what I asked you. What you got to do to win a case?
If I would have done it, like this.
No.
Did Kobe Bryant write a book? Did Kobe Bryant write a book that said if I would have raped a woman?
See, but that's not what I asked you though.
Kobe ain't trying to go to jail.
You deflected. You just deflected.
What you mean?
He wouldn't have to go to jail because that's double jeopardy. And once you accuse of something and you beat it, they can't charge you with it twice. So right there, that your point is defunct again. My question to you is, what the fuck? Like what? You not answering the question. Like, what did Kobe do, bro? Like,
what did Kobe do for what? The city?
No. Like, what did he get convicted of?
Oh, nothing.
So why are we bringing this up? Why are you dealing the ifs?
Because I was just talking about. It don't even matter.
Exactly. It don't. That's what I'm telling you. You bringing that up to deflect it. What the situation is? No, we're not talking in circles. You trying to go in circles.
All I said was, look. Y'all feel sad for Kobe? That's good. He's famous, so we should feel sad for him because we've seen him play for 20 years of basketball.
And nobody's saying that they don't feel sad for the other people. That them girls' teammates sat front row last night.
He ain't never did anything else besides play basketball for us.
You know how many niggas in the hood probably ate off Kobe winning championships? I just literally told you how many niggas sold Lakers t-shirts.
Cool.
How many probably your classmates and friends and people that you know probably had to got school clothes. Niggas paid bills.
James died, I feel more sad than Kobe.
Why? Brown ain't did shit for you.
He got a whole goddamn school.
Did you go to it, nigga?
I'm just saying. He doing
what you saying?
Kobe Bryant has the Mamba Academy.
Kobe got the Mamba Academy.
Basketball.
So?
That you have to pay for it. That probably costs a lot of money.
You don't always have to pay for it. He has scholarship kids.
Okay. So you have to have talent to get on that.
Hold on, where you think LeBron? You think LeBron James is picking the dumbest kids in the neighborhood?
No, he's picking the smartest.
Okay, so you have to have some talent to get to that motherfucker, right?
To the school. He's not picking.
To the school.
That's a whole separate issue. But
I mean, where's it at? In the hood? It's for people that need it, right?
So why are you bumping up something you don't know nothing about? But you just literally throwing out facts that you know. You throwing out bulletin points.
You make it for rich kids.
You don't know that. What do you know about it? No, I'm not asking. No, not come on now. What do you know about it? Answer the question.
I know he made a charter school for kids, 3 meals a day for kids that need it. Obviously, if you got 3 meals a day,
that's your whole basis for somebody needing it.
He's doing more than Kobe.
I don't disagree with that. But I just think that that's not relevant to what we're talking about. But I don't disagree with that.
I'm just saying, like, he did that. And we saying basketball and writing the book was like.
Here's what I'm going to give you, Verge.
Give Dr. Seuss a goddamn Grammy then. This motherfucker wrote my whole damn life, huh?
And Dr. Seuss has a Nobel Peace Prize, nigga.
Yeah, and I didn't feel sad when he died. I read all his damn books.
Dr. Seuss was a she, nigga.
Whatever.
Dumb motherfucker.
Whatever.
That's the point. You just be talking.
I didn't feel bad for none of that. Like, I didn't feel bad if it ain't blood related.
Here's what I'm going to give you, Verge. I will give you this. Everybody's perception of impact is going to be different, right? So for some of us, Kobe has made a huge impact on your life, right? That's not my story. I don't feel like Kobe's made a huge impact on my life, but because I've seen the way he's gone about creating success for himself, creating discipline for himself, creating consistency in greatness in his life, I can understand easily how so many people saw that, applied that to their lives, and feel very connected in that way when somebody who has that kind of discipline and talent dies in a tragic way. I can understand that. That does not mean that I don't understand you, somebody who didn't feel that from him or grow up in that or have any connection to that, going, yeah, it's sad that anybody dies. So of course I'm sad that Kobe dies, but that's just it for me. That's okay. What's not okay What's not okay is to create alternate universes where somehow we're going to pretend that regular everyday people who are not in the public view, who are not public figures, are going to get the same publicity, because literally publicity, public figure go together, that a public figure will get. That just is just realistic. If I go out right now and get hit by a car, you guys are all going to be sad.
Yeah.
Right? But I am not going to be plastered all over CNN and ESPN for days for obvious fucking reasons, right? That doesn't mean that my life is meaningless. That just means that I am not a public figure and I'm not going to occupy public space, because then literally we would never see anything else but dead people, because how many thousands and hundreds and millions of people die every day.
And that's literally like what we know. Like when you watch the end of Boys in the Hood, that's the whole point. Either they don't know, they don't show us, because everybody who has someone that dies feels like the world should stop for that person. That person impacted you, so you feel like the world should die. The world should stop for that person when they die. That's just how everybody feels about somebody who personally passes. But as a motherfucker who don't be knowing these people, you like, I don't give a fuck about your grandma. Is this bitch gonna give me the day off from work paid? If not, then I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's just how the world works. But that doesn't take away from the and like for me, I would have no problem with your argument if the shit made sense. That's the whole problem. It's like the shit is not logical.
I mean,
hold on. Like I'm not disputing you no more. I'm letting you have it. I'm just giving you my opinion of it. I don't need you to explain it no more. We talked for 30 minutes, nigga. My whole opinion of it is just that it's not logical that you could even go, I love a nigga like Jordan and I relate to Jordan, when a nigga modeled his whole life after somebody. Jordan. It's hard for you to tell me that you fuck with me and certain things about me when that shit is modeled after a nigga like Kobe. Like that type of shit, it don't make sense. It don't add up. Like some shit for me is like,
not the same work ethic. I understand that part. They did the same thing on the court, but they're not the same people at the end of the day after they leave the court.
But this is my whole thing. You can't lessen what Kobe's accomplishments are, what Kobe is, because you don't fuck with how he accomplished it. That's my whole point. If you're gonna acknowledge a nigga for selling shoes, bro, then you gotta acknowledge a nigga for winning Oscars and doing shit like that.
I don't even buy Jordans.
I didn't say that. I didn't say you supported him. I said acknowledge. That's what I'm saying. When you do that right there, that's deflecting. You just took that somewhere else. I in no way used the word that you buy Jordans. I never accused you. I never mentioned that. I said you acknowledge Jordan for selling shoes. I didn't say that you support him. That's two whole different things. That's what I say when I say you deflecting, you take it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I never mentioned that, so it's no need for you to defend that. What I'm saying, though, is that in part of your acknowledgement of Jordan and why you feel like you relate to him is the businessman aspect of him. But that's not something that's negated when you talk about Kobe Bryant, because Kobe Bryant has a line of shoes on two different brands.
Yeah.
Jordan never technically, like Jordan originated with a shoe that was handed down to him. Like these are the things that I need you to understand when you talk about. Not only does Kobe have multiple shoes on like two shoes on two different brands, he has PEs on every single brand. He has a Jordan shoe. It's what niggas don't realize. Like he has a Jordan PE. Like that's what you don't understand. Like anything you see that's come out in a Jordan brand that's purple and gold is because Kobe wore it during his free agency period when he was wearing sneakers. Like that's the shit you got to start to understand. Like when you see niggas wearing certain type of shit, half the fucking league wear Kobe's, bro. Half these niggas that you see, like his impact is something that it's in every way that Jordan is. Plus, if you want to go, okay, he hasn't built a school like LeBron. Okay, I can accept that, but you have to look at the level up in the generation, and you can't just the superstars of the NBA, the guys who backpacked the NBA and created it and made it a certain type of way. They impact the hoods. They impact niggas every day. Even if you're not a basketball player, it was just something that you took from how he wanted to win, his work ethic. And if you didn't, somebody you probably acknowledged it. That I mean, like somebody you looked up to probably did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people I do. A lot of my friends.
Yeah, so my whole shit is, bro, like, I get it. You don't fuck with it, but we can't diminish it.
The greatest thing Kobe did to me ever was when he quit and became a family man, that's why I was like, okay. That part, I
have no problem with you. And I have no problem with you respecting that. A lot of people agree with that. My whole point, though, is that you can't diminish the rest of the shit, though.
I'm not. I know that he did this. I'm not saying. All I'm saying is when people die, even if you're famous. Look, I went through a situation, right, when I seen 2 girls and an older dude. Now, the girls might have been 10 to 11. The guy might have been 40. And I walked and got some gas, and I walked back to the car. I seen the girl scared. So I walked over there and said, hey, are y'all good? He said, yeah. He said, yeah. I said, I don't really care what you have to say. These 2 little girls looks kind of scared. Are they good? Nikki said, yeah, you got a problem? Like, I kind of do. Like, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm saying I'm going to leave it longer in my car. And I walked back because I just couldn't leave it alone. I said, are you the uncle or dad or something? Because you got a dirty T-shirt on. You look dirty. You look filthy. And he did. And he was like,
you look like a raper.
Yeah. And I'm like, what it's like, I'm like, y'all want pizza? Like I'll buy you the pizza and just go because fuck him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who this guy is. And the guy was looking at me crazy. The dude in the Pizza Hut was like tripping. So I left. And I called people, and it was like, and I'm like, are y'all that heartless to not care that 2 little girls is with this grown man that have no relationship with them at all? And like, that's what I'm saying. People are heartless like that.
Sure.
It was like, and 10-year-old girls, innocent, ain't did nothing yet.
So is that your reflection?
No, what I'm about to say is, Kobe died, people get sad. Little girl about to get kidnapped, people say and to me. I'm like, wow, that is amazing. So you want me to feel sad for Kobe, but y'all want the same, y'all won't even do the same for innocent people.
The people that you're talking to suck, Verge. That's all I can tell you about that.
And just because they suck, you don't take on the attitude of them and carry that energy. Because they didn't care about that doesn't mean that you stop.
I told you I cared when Kobe died. I can even care more when the daughter died. I'm just saying those
but
people.
But you also said, nigga, when the next day it was your birthday, so you was like, fuck Kobe.
I'm done. I did my grieving. It's my birthday. Nigga, my day. Nigga, you died. I'm sorry. Nigga, my day. Move on. If you die, it's different. It'd be months, years. He died, it's a day. I don't know him. Day. Move. Get the hell on. Cousin, family, relationship, years. I'm hurt. I'm destroyed. Nigga, him? Day.
Nigga, I dropped my lighter.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
8 hours.
Yeah.
Tops.
I'm not mad.
I dropped my lighter and I can't find it. I'm more concerned about that than what Ver's talking about at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
Damn day.
Hold on.
It might be the. Oh, here I go. Wow. Sorry. I'm late, people. How y'all doing? What are you talking about?
Don't even ask.
What is he doing?
I've
been sitting here for like 5 minutes in silence.
Listen to the episode after we posted to find out.
Oh my god! What?
We're not revisiting that. We're not going back. TJ just stepped in the building.
Yeah.
For those titties.
Big ass motherfucking titties.
I dropped my lighter and I can't find it, and this is upsetting me because there's no reason I shouldn't be able to find this. Like, is it over there? Okay.
Amazing.
Me and my homegirls on the game. Blueface, baby. All right, so, I mean, that happened.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Verge just didn't fuck with being sad about Kobe's death. That's the long and short of it.
Okay.
I was sad. I tried to get him all day.
I don't know.
He feels like it's just a lot. He feels like it's a lot, and he feels like he's sad for the other people, and he wants the other people to also get the same amount of attention. I explained publicity and public figures to him, but it doesn't really matter to Verge.
Yeah, I mean,
we're moving on.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand that feeling. I mean, but also, I don't know. Like, I've had that conversation a couple times today, and it's just, I realized that, like you said, public figures, and like not just basketball, like it's people that like I've seen posts and like old friends from high school and shit. Like Kobe was like, you know, like it's beyond like basketball for them. It might not be like that for you. I can't really say like you not to feel how you feel. Kobe wasn't that for you. It's celebrities that have passed, and I just was like, that's sad. So if that's how you feel, like I get it, but like I definitely understand the outpour for Kobe. Like I 100% understand that. So I don't know, like.
Babe, are we going to touch on that other part of it, or are we moving on?
No, I mean, Verge kind of hinted at it. I mean, Kobe, of course, the sexual assault situation with that, and it's kind of like, how do you remember him with something like that, especially in this era when you have like the Me Too, and it's such a Kobe's case basically wins depending on like what your perspective is. It kind of wins based on a victim. I'm not going to say a victim blaming, but a strong pointing out of the victim's flaws.
But I forget the details of that. Did he actually rape her, or was it like we had sex and I want to like?
To the best of my recollection, from what I remember from the story, what happened is Kobe had surgery somewhere, had to do rehab. Checks into the hotel. Him and the girl meet at the front desk. They flirt, whatever. She knows Kobe's room number, of course, because she's a front desk girl. Somebody from the kitchen tells her, "Oh, the basketball guy ordered room service." She goes to the kitchen, gets Kobe's room service, takes it up to Kobe's room. They have consenting sex. Apparently, during the sexual encounter, Kobe engaged in anal sex with her, which she did not consent to. And that was ironically, how the beat just dropped out when I was like, anal sex. It was like, she didn't consent to it. It was like,
Universe wanted that bar, man.
Yeah.
Want the people to know that butt sex was happening.
She did not consent to it. So
Unconsensual butt sex.
So he had butt sex with her, unconsenting. And, that was the sexual assault case, but the young lady had the day of the young lady's DNA test, or like her rape kit. She showed up and she had some stories say 5, some stories say 8 different semens in her underwear, or like in her.
Oh, that's
so.
She had fun.
Yeah, that was a huge part of what basically got him off, was that it was like, wait a minute, like her rape kit from the day after or the morning after came back with.
I mean,
the fucking basketball team plus reserves.
Yeah, I don't know if I completely am like, oh, Kobe's a raper. I believe it was like clearly a bad move, but I've spoken on here before. I'm not really a big fan of. Now, if he was like comes out like he was a complete super rapist, I can't really defend that. But I'm not a fan of like.
He wasn't doing like Aaron Hernandez level rapes. Was it 5 rapes we don't know about in Philly in high school and shit?
I haven't been a fan of this culture for a long time, that you do one thing and you have to be held accountable.
Cancel
for that.
Culture is what we call it.
That shit is not cool. Like, I'm not saying don't let people, you motherfucker fuck up. Like, you definitely hold them accountable. But once they serve whatever serve for whatever it is you did, you have to get that person a chance to like grow or whatever. Like, your favorite everything had a fuck up, big fuck ups.
Here, fuck it, I got one. When we was going to school in Grambling, we used to live in Louisiana. Me, TJ, Dafu, Ray, basically anybody who pretty much would hang with us. We would go to a little all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet, and they had a little 9-year-old son that worked at the all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet. I love kids, but fuck this little Chinese kid. I would always like beef with this little Chinese kid every time I went into that restaurant, because I know eventually somebody gonna find out about me threatening this little 9-year-old Chinese kid, and they gonna try to cancel me.
This ain't even the best part of the story. You can continue, but the best part is at the end.
Yeah, like, so one day, we get into it, and like the argument, we beefing at the counter when I'm paying, and it kind of spill out to outside. And so, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, fuck you, you little bitch ass nigga. You come outside, I'll fuck you up. So he waited until I got all the way in the car and shit, and then came outside and was like, you bitch ass nigga, I'll fuck you up.
This kid is this kid is the most gangster nigga I've ever met. Because this is full fledged. I have to put into, was Eugene with us?
I think he was.
I think I have to put into perspective.
It was me, you,
it's a 6'5", 300-pound nigga. It's EJ at the time is anywhere between 250 to 275. I'm every bit of 260 at the time. And I think Dafu was with us. That's just another sizable adult man. The kid walks outside with his T-shirt tucked into his cargo shorts, with his brown belt, with his high tube white socks, and his fucking Skechers on, and says, fuck you, you bitch ass nigga. And I was just like, he won, bro. Like, we pulling off, and he stays outside.
I went to get out the car, like on some shit. Like, we really, like, I beefed with this nigga like he was a grown man. So in my head, I forgot that he was like a 9-10-year-old kid, because he was going so hard. Like, his energy was bigger. Like, his energy was like 14, hands down.
And the
nigga had 14-year-old energy. You know me, I'm not a bully.
He was pointing with one hand, but he kept our receipt in the other, because it's like motherfucker, you gonna pay this bill, bitch.
Yeah, like he was like, I got your money though, bitch. He was like, you bitch ass nigga. And I went to get out the car, and TJ had to grab my arm, like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm gonna fuck him up. He's like, EJ, he like 9. I was like, oh yeah. And I got back in the car, and
we got cussed out by a first generation American.
I love it.
Now, like,
with a
beefed.
Louisiana accent.
We beefed. It started from a fucking fork. Like, one day I asked him, like, yo, bro, can I get a fork? And he just kept, I'm like, yo, son, can I get a fork? Like, what the fuck? You hear me? And he was like, he brought the fork and he just threw it. And ever since then, we was beefing. And like, I got to the counter that day. I'll never forget this shit, because it's the only time in my life I beefed with a fucking kid. Man. Like, I've never met a kid that I was really on some shit. Like, I'm gonna hit you, but I'm gonna hit you like an adult. Like, I'm gonna throw these motherfuckers at you, bro. And they come fast and they come hard. So all I'm saying is you're gonna be at elementary trying to explain how some college sophomore just punched your whole face in and now you can't eat and you can't go to recess because I'm gonna fuck you up, bro. 9 years old or not, Verge. Like, you Verge, feel me?
No,
like,
it was serious adult. I'm gonna beat you.
Not even now. Even before that, like, even before, you know how you all right, you know how you see somebody.
I ain't gonna punch you.
Bro, you know, all right, you gotta hear me out though. You know how you got somebody that's like, they are not somebody that you would usually fight, but in your head you be like, I'll beat that nigga ass, bro.
They just try to push. He's stupid.
Like, even before they really do the thing to get you to beat their ass, you already know in your soul, like, I'll beat your ass. I'll beat your ass, so don't do that. Like, it's some people you'll tell that. Like, it's some people you get some leeway to, like a little coworker. They might, like, eat a snack at your desk or something. You be like, hey, man, next time I ask you, bro, I'll give it to you. Just let me know you're going to take it.
True.
But a fucking 10-year-old Asian kid, nah.
Hey, it's kind of hard to
because his energy was so, like, can you
guy.
imagine, like, a little 9-year-old Asian DMX with, like, his pants tucked in and, like, calculator in his back pocket? And
Asians don't play that.
Nene, he chased me out the
Asians
restaurant.
Don't play that.
Nigga chased me out the restaurant with some, like, on some big energy. Man, y'all ain't understanding. Y'all had to know.
That shit was amazing.
Y'all had to know him. Y'all had to be there.
I mean, how do you throw the fork? He threw it, or you just like?
Nah, like he threw it like with the like with,
aggression.
Boomerang?
Yeah, nah, he
Like,
hit me
like-
with the joint like
Like,
bitch ass
nigga,
nigga.
I
Like,
ain't really fucking with you. Take this shit. I probably dropped it on
like-
the ground. Yeah, you didn't eat that. You didn't like use that fork, right? I know you fuck with that fork.
nah, nigga did with the wipe off and shit. But I'm like,
Okay, I would never touch that fork.
but I'm like, bro, it's
Nah,
my
I'm
nigga. It's a Chinese buffet in Louisiana. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Who knows?
You get what you get.
You getting what you getting, but
You
like
lucky you ain't got coronavirus to this day.
to this day. But I know that little 9-year-old kid.
Yeah, he grown now. He ready now.
Is the
He
world
really
coming to
ready.
an end now? Is that officially hit us? I
ready.
saw like a shit that said it hit like out here somewhere. So we all finna die?
That shit, it's more people
dude.
dying.
First
from
off, that was
flu
fake.
than
That was
dying
fake.
from
That was
Okay,
fake.
cool. I just
It
was ready,
ain't-
like,
it ain't all
we gonna die.
Man,
or
look,
whatever.
more niggas dying from salmonella. than,
We like hype,
yeah.
but
Like, what happened to? Fuck that. What happened to Ebola? Anybody talking about Ebola no more?
Ebola wiped out a lot
No,
of
I'm talking about 3 years ago when Ebola was
And
around
Cameron
here
was getting that
supposedly
money.
killing niggas.
And Cameron was getting
And
that
he
money.
both-
Yes, babe.
But then what happened?
But what
Just
happened to it?
eradicated? Yeah, like,
It
it's
just don't kill
happened.
hundreds of thousands of niggas
It's
and then be
not
like, I'm going home for the summer.
I go on
No,
vacation.
I'm not.
I think they
saying
just be
that-
letting that shit loose and then bring it
I
back.
think they just.
I'm putting that out there. I just think they be letting it out to fuck with y'all and then bring it back. Like,
So,
some shit
and
be
that's
going
my whole
on.
thing is like,
Kill a couple of these niggas so they can stop
People
fucking with
was
us and then
certainly
take it back.
dying from Ebola. I don't know what's going on right now because I haven't.
all right, this
I'm not
coronavirus
well-versed,
shit, I'm gonna
but
tell y'all like this. It's a man-made shit.
I'm gonna do it. Cameron did.
because
They
it's
was
just-
mad.
all viruses.
But I mean, it's just ironic you release it in China. Like, people, if we haven't, like, look back at population control, people. Places that are overpopulated, those are the places that get hit. Why you think Africa had a pandemic of AIDS and shit for years? It's because niggas population control. China is now, they $1 billion deep, or they $1 billion deep, and they owe, America owe them $73 trillion. And all of a sudden, it's just, this little virus break out, and it's killing niggas.
Yeah.
It's really ironic. It's kind of like how Dave Chappelle said it's this magical disease that popped up in the 70s, but it only kills niggas and fags and basically everybody that old white people hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be ironic about shit.
I'm
like
just
that, right?
super. Yeah, it's not ironic, nigga.
Yeah.
They killing motherfuckers.
That's
We want
crazy.
y'all to stop fucking. We killing y'all to like stop whatever. Yeah.
You can call me a
shit. We ain't trying
conspiracy
to say a
brother if
goddamn
you want
thing.
to.
Yeah, call me conspiracy brother if you want to.
Right.
I just feel it's ironic how certain shit happens.
Yeah, that did come out of nowhere because I was like,
Yeah.
like this is a new little thing going on.
Isn't that a
That's
fake
cool.
term they made up anyways? Like conspiracy in and of itself. Like they kind of coined the term
All
to
this
like
shit, like fake.
throw it away. Like, oh hey, if they say conspiracy, they're crazy.
That's
nigga,
white people favorite-
That's legit shit. Nigga.
That's
like,
the
it's-
man's favorite thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
marijuana is not even a real name for weed. That's not even a real name for weed. I don't know where that shit came from. Well, I do know where it came from, but that's not even Spanish. Marijuana don't mean shit in Spanish. You niggas understand that?
No.
No.
White people picked that because that was two names.
Yeah, no.
It Mary Jane, so they took the Mary and then they took Juana from this Hispanic. Like, all right.
That's the thing for Black. Hey, that's
But
my-
like, man,
no, I like that right there.
them
That's
niggas
the
just
thing
like
for
the
Black History
government.
Month.
Like,
That's my
niggas
Black
would
History
just
Month theme. Like white
create
people
a
haven't
word
invented
that make a
anything.
nigga feel like it
Oh,
sounds spooky.
Happy Black History Month. It is
Yeah,
the first.
that's my Black History Month theme all month. Is just to tell everybody know like white people didn't.
Man,
invent
Kobe
any
died.
Shit. Yeah, they just remix everything.
Yes.
Wait, is that like we throw the month away? I don't know.
We don't throw the month away, but the
Kobe's a
first day
great
is still
black
morning.
person, so shouldn't we?
Oh, yeah, I just was
So the
like-
first day should still be
Celebratory.
morning. Yeah. Well, it's
Celebratory of him. He's like.
It's a repass. You need to get some chicken and some sodas and some water.
Well, that's my thing. Like, I was just like, okay, everybody was like crying. I was like, at one point when I started seeing like the memes and people was like, that's terrible, don't do that. And I was like, this is actually black as fuck. Because, like, any funeral I go to, we cry for, like, you get there, you cry, you pass out. Once you pick grandma off the floor, when you take her to the repast, she going to put her flats on, and off and, crack jokes, and this fat motherfucker.
After y'all walk back to them old-ass limos and that dirt, them old high heels get stuck in that dirt, you get back to that car. After that, it's party time.
When I saw people mad about, like, the fucking, like, Jesus crossing him, I was like, this is genuinely good shit right here.
People first off, be mad about
Jesus is not crossing Kobe.
I saw that too. Somebody said.
No, I'm just gonna. Kobe was 9-time defensive player of the year. That's all. I mean, not defense, but for all first team defense.
No, somebody said Jesus will end up on another cross.
I don't think Kobe. I don't even think Kobe would let Jesus cross him.
My favorite.
God, maybe. God.
Hey, you might ask for it. Hey, Jesus might walk there. God, I need a favor.
God, maybe.
Kobe. God,
maybe.
Look.
God, maybe.
Man, look, Kobe a smoke Jesus.
God, maybe.
God, maybe.
I ain't gonna hold you up.
Kobe wouldn't even let Jesus not getting past half court, bro.
Wait,
probably not. He never played basketball. He never played basketball.
Is the one of Nipsey, and it said he's like, I got Nipsey, like he looking around, and it's like Nip says, I know that ain't cuz.
Nip up in heaven seeing Kobe like, I know that ain't cuz. That's hilarious because it's a fact. But Jesus not putting up the numbers on Kobe.
Nigga, what are you doing here?
Hey, I seen that picture too. He had the AI.
Man.
He had the AI. Hey, I mean, he's not gonna play him though. He wouldn't play him.
In sandals too?
Nah, he wouldn't play
In sandals?
They wouldn't play.
I don't give a shit what you put him in. I 100% agree. Kobe is smoking.
Wait, hold on. We talking about like, dude, is Kobe playing like prime Kobe or is he playing like retirement Kobe?
It don't count because Jesus never played. It wouldn't count. Like, it can't. Come on, they can't play. Why would they play? He never played.
Wait, I feel like we in heaven, like it's like perfect merger, Kobe. It's all Kobe. Like,
they wasn't playing no basketball.
Yeah, it's all around Kobe. It's like I get my best to 24 and my best to 8. Fucking wrecking shit. Actually, now I think about it, yeah, it'll be disrespectful up there.
Got a list of people you got to go through before you play Jesus. Trust me.
Who?
Everybody in heaven.
Who?
Everybody want to try him.
But like who?
I don't know. People in heaven. I don't fucking know.
It's a nigga who live on 50th and Normandy that's ready to try.
Yeah, like come on.
Nigga, I always thought.
I thought I was the best one in the league. Like you know.
I ain't saying he right. I'm just saying it's always niggas that felt like they
Kobe gonna shake some niggas.
Kobe should have been in the
Kobe
NBA.
gonna whoop that boy.
I'm sure he is. I'm just saying.
Man, look, I already know it's mad niggas that grew up in L.A. I used to be
He
outside of the Staples Center. I used to be. Nah, and I get it, man. But look, niggas not.
That's like niggas don't want that.
Kobe is up there ruling the court in 1-on-1. He giving niggas games to 5, 6, bro. 3-0.
It's heaven. We don't get tired. Like I'll smoke you to a game of 1,000,000. Yes. Like I'll play you till 1,000,000 points. We don't get tired up here.
Heaven's supposed to be your land of milk and honey. You supposed to be able to do the shit that you love up there. Kobe love to hoop, and that ain't nothing illegal, and that ain't hurt nobody. So he just up there hooping.
I think Kobe is really up there like doing niggas dirty and like he playing them like for games of like, look, you lose, you got to go to purgatory for like the next 500 years.
I don't think Kobe doing that to niggas. I think Kobe know them niggas ain't got no chance. So I think Kobe just up there doing it for the workout, just trying to. He just going through the lines till he get to Jesus.
Don't these niggas got like wings and stuff?
Like at the end of the
basketball, like
at the end of the shit,
they ain't gonna fly away.
And that be the sick shit, bro. Kobe didn't need wings to fly. Kobe was flying before he had his wings. He won a dunk contest his second year in the league, nigga. Pay respect. Kobe been flying.
Yo.
You got niggas like Len Bias up there. Len Bias never even got to play a game in the league. He probably playing Wilt Chamberlain, Pistol Pete up there. He up there hooping niggas, letting niggas know.
I mean,
all them niggas from them different decades. Moses Malone up there. Moses Malone's the first nigga to come out of high school to go to the league.
Like, who put the court up?
What you mean? You think God?
He's like, yeah, I got.
So you think when God constructed heaven, he ain't put no? He constructed heaven and the earth. Why would he make the heavens at least as good as the earth? It's basketball courts out here.
What do you think heaven looks like?
I've never seen it.
He created the heavens and the earth. So
like it would just be not modern. Like I just want to like
seen heaven. We never seen heaven.
But I'm saying like
heaven got an outhouse.
But yeah, but I'm saying like what do you think is up there? Like it just would be like nothing. Like you just literally like
I really think
clouds.
people are not up there playing basketball.
Then what would you want to do? Okay, hang on.
So what are niggas in heaven doing, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask me, they probably in their own dream doing their own thing, like a dream.
So what you think Kobe dreaming about?
Yeah, but he probably basketball or family. He could be with his family.
His family courtside. Why he playing basketball? Them kids in the family is courtside. He winking over there every time he score a basket on niggas. Martin Luther King up there in that suit, like Kobe. I want to play the fight,
and it's just he just heaven to go play more ball. Like this.
He dedicated his life to
in
that,
heaven,
like,
bro.
yeah.
He's ageless in heaven. He can play basketball and never get hurt, never get old, never have to retire.
But you only played it.
But you got to think, bro. It's heaven. He could probably you could probably do 7 things at once. He could be simultaneously with his family and playing basketball. It's heaven. Ain't no rules.
This Kobe Bryant conversation is like
it's wild.
Nothing that I've ever heard before.
It's true.
There is not a podcast, a media outlet that has had a Kobe Bryant conversation.
Man, look.
Like this.
Kobe in heaven doing whatever the fuck he want to do.
First off, that's like if I die and niggas be like,
you play football?
That nigga EJ in heaven smoking weed playing football.
And I dare you to argue me about it. Like,
I mean, yeah, you might want to
drinking mimosas.
Nah,
like if niggas just listed all my favorite shit that I was doing, I was
time out. You gonna go to heaven to lay down
and chill. Why the hell would I already get down here? Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm not about to go up to heaven and go play football some more. Hell no, that shit hurt.
You wild.
Give me a damn bed, nigga. And some pillows and a cover. I need that.
Bro, I'm finna go talk to wild niggas that don't make no sense.
And a goddamn apple, like you know.
I want to walk up to niggas that I don't even recognize. Like, what was the Earth like in 100 BC? Let's talk about it. What?
I hate that sport. Hell no.
God, you said you was gonna go up to heaven to take a nap.
God gonna send you back as a caterpillar.
Wow.
He gonna send you back as some bullshit. He gonna make you an airplane tire.
I just want to play football.
Your ass want to lay around. They gonna make you a hammock. Somebody gonna lay in your ass, nigga.
Pretty much. Verge just said like
get your ass back down there to an island and let people lay in your ass.
Verge was like heaven seems too much. I want to go to purgatory where it's chill. Like I just want to sit here and it's nothing.
I don't think you go up there to go become. Never mind.
Purgatory is Seattle. You don't want to go. Purgatory look like Seattle.
That's where you want to go. He said he want to just go lay down somewhere.
No, I just want to chill.
Yeah, that's you just gonna be sleepy. Purgatory look like London.
I mean, you're gonna be chilling. You're gonna be smoking.
I mean, yeah, shit. Honestly, man.
I don't even think he's gonna play football. Really, I think he's gonna be smoking weed.
Who?
You.
Oh. Nah, my nigga. I would keep playing. If it wasn't for these ankles and these bills, I would still be playing football right now.
You would do anything you want. Like I could fucking play ball. I can get ass. I can do whatever I want.
I mean,
I don't know if y'all can do all of these things.
Yeah,
so
I don't know about getting ass. I know I can play football.
Time out. You can't get no ass in heaven. You got access to history's best and brightest, and you can't go. You can't go. Hey, Cleopatra was popping. Like I want to see what it was like. This shit tore down fucking countries. I want to give it a shot, and there's no backlash.
I'm not gonna argue with that.
I don't think God gave you.
There's soul connections and things.
That's,
so I don't know.
I'm legit. I have a legit theory about this. Soul connections. At what point in your life?
Let me hear this.
There's besides the soul connections. What exact events do you do in life when it's really good that you feel like you're closest to God?
I'm not.
I've said that forever. That sex is that you get the most physical, mental, and spiritual closest that you can ever have with a person.
So if you're really, if that's one instance on this plane that you are the closest to God, you think you get up there and he's like, fuck that, just don't do that at all. I think even the idea that
what happens if you go to heaven and you just don't remember what you was?
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. Too much. What was you saying?
I was just saying to TJ's point, like that actually makes really good sense, and I would imagine that if
Nigga,
we're gonna have
the
best, purest, you never talked about sex in heaven.
Like,
you never talked about sex in heaven.
But yeah, like even the idea.
When has the conversation?
Hang on. Even
when has the conversation of sex in heaven
it's Black History Month. I can bang on them too. Even the idea that sex is bad, that really sounds like some white man power structure shit. That when they rewrote the Bible, they was like, we're gonna write that sex is bad, so we don't let women control their pussies. That's my theory.
We been said that one though.
So yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
and you can fucking heaven.
Being in heaven and getting ass.
I don't think that's possible.
It's okay. I feel like it's probably very reasonable because it's probably the purest act, right? At that point, everybody is pure and good. Everybody's intentions are good. That's probably the safest version of sex.
No, it's not. Your function as a creature is to procreate. That's what sex is for.
But I'm in heaven, though. Why would I procreate in heaven? Like,
but I'm saying,
next door.
Ain't that where Hercules came from?
What?
Yeah, I don't believe
Didn't
that
Zeus have sex
just
with
for
somebody?
Zeus fucked everything.
That's some bullshit
like
old people tell you to make you feel bad about having sex. Sex is not just for procreation.
I didn't say that. But I'm saying,
and it's to feel good.
I don't think you go to heaven. They're gonna have sex. Like I think you go to
heaven. You don't go there to have sex, but you can have sex there.
I feel like in heaven you're gonna forget everything you was back then. So
that's true.
I don't think you're gonna remember who you was.
That don't mean that you can't have
sex.
So then I can have new sex.
Because people say you're gonna reincarnate, right? So you're not gonna remember what you was last time. So I'm pretty sure you can go to heaven and be a blank piece of paper.
I don't know.
I don't think that's true. I don't know if that's completely true. Like you hear people say, in my past life, I must have wronged somebody.
Yeah.
That sometimes people put their fortunes in their current life on shit that they went through in their past life. That shit that happened before your reincarnation. So you still paying for those things in your reincarnation. A lot of people believe what your reincarnation is going to be is based on your past life.
But reincarnation is different from heaven.
I mean,
True.
Because reincarnation means that you've had to come back to Earth for whatever reason.
You know what Eddie G said about the Bible?
What did he say?
He said he said when we was in Africa, we had all the land, all the diamonds, all the gold. The white people had the Bible. Now we got the Bible. Now they got all the land, all the gold, all the diamonds. So it's like
it's a bar.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, like we kind of had a bead on things long before white folks came.
They came and traded us, and now we.
But I'm not gonna touch the Bible and Christianity and black people right now.
Why not? What else we got to touch?
Yeah, like this.
It's the perfect platform.
Yeah, like go for it.
She keeps being on the talk show like, I don't want to talk about this. I'll talk about that at another time. When the fuck is a better time to talk about the shit, nigga?
Like, let's set all this shit on fire. I'm with the shit.
Burn this motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, it's just that I really want black people to free ourselves from the idea that white people gave us Christianity. White people did give enslaved black people a version of Christianity, but Christianity as it really stands existed in Africa long before white people showed up. There were practicing Christians all throughout what's now Ethiopia and all over. So
Eritrea and
so the idea that somehow
was that the name of it, or was that the name of
Christianity? Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying like
in practice, there was Jesus, there was Christian, there was all of these things already existed before white people showed up. And I feel like we give credit to white people for everything. Good and bad. Everything is because of white people. White people ain't listen. They're not that smart, guys. They're just not.
No, they're crafty. They
Preach it.
They real crafty.
You said they're crafty.
Preach.
Yeah, they crafty. No, they are
She
crafty.
said, listen, Linda.
They run the world. They're not crafty.
Just stop believing that white people are responsible for everything. They're not.
I agree with her.
I mean, you got Chinese people that make some stuff. You got a lot of people that make some stuff. But them motherfuckers, them white people, they somewhere in the cut.
They're good at stealing.
Yeah, they're crafty.
They're good at manipulation, if that's what you mean. But if you're talking about creation, development, inventing
they're good
shit,
at like
they
reselling
don't do
you some shit.
I was about to say, they're good at things you don't want nothing to do with. That's the idea of it. See, what you fail to realize is a lot of what white people power comes from is based on things that you morally find incorrect.
Yeah. I'm not saying they created and made anything. I'm saying they're crafty. They know how to get.
No, they're thieves.
Okay.
Yeah, you say crafty. Yeah, crafty. Like, positive. They're manipulative.
I mean, I want to go.
You know, deceitful.
Because they don't do any work to try to deceive you on what they're taking from you. They just take it.
Oh, this I put my name on it, it's mine. Yeah, they'll do that.
Yeah, like America, for instance. To give a small example, America.
Yeah, they took that whole. They came through. They came like a motherfucker.
Yep.
I mean, really,
they took this whole motherfucker, didn't even know how big this bitch was.
I mean, Spain was here too, though. It was a lot of people here.
But my whole thing is, what is this bitch called?
Spain are
that's just white folks.
They're just all white. They were all white, and they came over.
But if you call them white, they're not gonna like.
I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
No, they want to be white.
So disrespectful.
No,
they want to be white.
They want to be white.
Spaniards.
That's the problem. Spaniards want to be white.
Yeah.
But it's legitimate, like European,
like
they're white. Like that's not disrespectful. Like that is what it is.
Like if you have lighter skin, you're of more prestige. And
white.
You want to be white. Yeah.
That's why you see niggas like Sammy Sosa bleaching his skin. Sammy Sosa was the shit dark, and then all of a sudden now this nigga, you be like,
why did you bring him up for it? I mean,
I'm just speaking of just Spanish and just the culture of the Spanish people. Like, it's just, we get that, you know, the white and the European influence is heavy, and it's a thing of prestige to be a
white person.
Yeah. To have lighter
and people
skin,
forget,
skin.
like, people think Spanish people are the same as Latinx people, and that's not true, right? Spaniards
we
are
we don't
Latinx
on this show. I don't know what the fuck a Latinx is. You gotta explain that shit here.
I try to respect what people say they want to be called. Listen,
who is saying they want to be called that?
Who we used to call Latinos.
First off, you got to do your history.
Is that just supposed to like try to
said
include?
That they don't like being called Latino X. What's his name? What was the one we was talking about? Do your histories. Know your history.
Do your history. He didn't say no. He said do your history.
Yeah, you gotta. I gotta give you that interview. It's a guy that was one of the founders of the Latin Kings gang, and he's just kind of talking about.
No,
like,
he said they didn't like being called.
Latinx.
No, it was something else that they didn't like.
He asked for people to explain what Latino X was because he's like, I'm Latin to the bone and I don't know what the fuck that means. So.
I always assume it's some like wildly trying to be inclusive type shit.
Because if so, I'm gonna be Black X.
I feel the same way about trans people. It's not for me to argue, bitch. If you tell me you Latinx, bitch, you Latinx. I don't give a fuck.
I just want to know what the fuck it is.
I don't care. I'm not investigating. I'm
not gonna try to figure it out myself.
I'm not it.
If you want to ask, go ahead and have it.
Yeah.
Take it.
Anyway, okay, so Latino people, whatever. The point is that I was trying to make was like Spanish people are white people. They showed up in countries like Cuba and Dominican Republic and those spaces and colonized. Right?
Ran that motherfucker.
And so that is how that happened. But they are not.
Then it was in the Philippines?
They are white. Like, they are the same as all the other colonizers. They're not some
nigga, anywhere they got dirt, they went.
They ran.
Anywhere they got dirt, them crackers went.
Hey, white people are very curious. That's why we running shit. They curious. They want to know. What's over there?
That's not curious.
That's not curiosity.
That's not curiosity.
I'm going to go. I want to see how
That's
far
what I
I
was
can
just
go.
about to tell you right now. It's Hispanic.
I want to see how far I can go to this end of this earth. Oh, it's a land here.
No, man. Curiosity is going, this is here, and I go back home. Not I come here, and then I take it over, and then I eradicate the people. That's not here.
The motherfucker walk in the studio and go,
oh, shit.
They behind the curve. They behind the curve.
Yeah, nigga, that's not curiosity, my nigga.
We can run that. We could. That's what it was.
Let me ask you a question.
It was down the boat.
Let me ask you a question. If a nigga run up in your house, right?
I'm gonna kill him.
And after you kill him, right?
That wasn't even a...
For being curious?
Stop.
Oh, you ran in my house?
Stop.
Oh, this
nigga run up in your house, right?
Curious,
no, he ran in... Yeah, I'm killing him.
Ran in your house.
Yeah.
You gonna kill him, right?
Yeah, gonna be in...
Now, after that, niggas tell you that you gotta pay for killing this nigga that ran up in your house.
For sure, who gonna make me do that? Who gonna make me pay? I would like to see that person.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you have to kill me because I'm not gonna pay.
No, like you literally not eligible to get no groceries. Like niggas gonna stop you from getting groceries,
for sure,
getting food, getting all that shit if you don't pay.
For sure.
Now this is my whole point. That's called Haiti. You understand that, right?
No, I didn't understand it.
All right, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's just a story of white people. Like white people was doing that shit. Like the reason why Haiti's not one of those places that's colonized, and like the difference between Haiti and Dominican is probably this wall and this wall, is that they beat white people. And now, but that's why Haiti remains so broke for so long, is that they beat white people. Nigga came and knocked on their door to take over their shit, and they killed the nigga, and it was like, how dare you? And so now they was like, yo, we gonna cut y'all niggas off from everything, and y'all gonna have to pay us. And that's what had to happen. But like that's what I'm saying is like white people. That's not curiosity, bro. That's not curiosity.
I mean, they didn't know what was over there. They didn't know where, like, the...
But when you get there and you walk on shore and you see houses and people and you still decide to get on your horses and load your guns and say, I'm going to war with you niggas and take your shit.
Now it's not. Now
okay, cool. All right, cool.
Now it's something different. Now
all right, but so now we're not going to deal in no ears.
Yeah, but it started off like that, but then it became something else. It grew into something else.
No,
what did it grow into? No, stop.
I mean, why else?
What did it grow into?
Why else do we go to other lands? We curious about how they work and
when you go to other countries, what
I
do you
didn't go to Thailand trying to blast on nobody.
I'm not saying blast, but I'm saying but when you start off just going to see. And then it grows
no, I think you're giving them too much credit.
Okay,
like they did not leave with the intent to take over a place.
No. Okay, even if they didn't, when they got there, wasn't the fuck switch that made them feel like they need to start killing people and mounting up guns and shit to take over the place?
When they realized they a bunch of, like, I ain't gonna say stupid, but it was like, oh, they still behind the times, like.
So if that's the case, fuck that. So if that's the case, why ain't nobody
calling everything? Like, what you mean nobody time running naked with arrows and shit? Yeah. If I ain't gonna lie, I would have ran that shit too.
Real quick, Bert. Real quick.
Oh
Do you know the story of white people?
Why you couldn't just go home?
No, fuck that.
Do you know the king of my shit? That's why I gotta take this shit on.
Bro, okay, so cool. Do you know the story of white people?
Shit, though.
What the fuck?
That's the complete
First off,
opposite.
that's just a stupid ass thinking.
What you mean?
What you just said is what I mean.
What they did it. I mean, obviously they still doing it because they win it. I'm just saying they win it. I mean, shit, they ain't losing.
I'm gonna go back and delete the last episode because you dumb as shit.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Your ass must need a nap, nigga.
I mean,
did you eat today?
Into the mic.
No, it's because they
did you eat today? You got a boo boo?
Yeah.
Nah, like I'm trying to figure out like what are you saying? Like they are winning, not in a good way, but they are.
I gotta give you some literature.
Who else is winning?
Give you some
I mean, black people are not winning because we always at the bottom. We can't.
Virg, what's winning? What's winning, bro?
We're not winning.
What's winning?
They winning. Like,
what is winning?
What is winning?
They run shit. That's the whole point. They run us. I mean, shit. We can't lie about it. Right? It's there in our face. They ran us, they beat us, did everything. Motherfuckers still killing us. So they not running shit? I mean, come on. They not.
So
they not.
Can I ask you?
They let us play basketball. They let us rap. They let us play.
They let us.
I mean, shit. They corporations run shit. They run everything. They got the radios. What do they don't have? I'm trying to figure out, when do we look like we're winning?
So
I love my black people. I'm just trying to figure out why we think we're not winning. Asian people got their own shit out here. Indians, we don't got shit. We don't got. We don't got nothing.
Can I ask you a question? Can you name me a racial group who was forced to come here against their will and enslaved for 400 years and then spent another, I don't know, how long were the black codes?
I'm saying.
Another 200 years and then.
I just said they beat us and did everything else.
No. That's not what she asked. That's not what she asked.
You just
deflected
said
again.
Indian and Asians and all these other groups of people have their own shit.
Yeah.
Name me a racial group who's had the same experience black people have.
We ain't gonna count Indians because they.
No, that's not what we asked you, bro. That's not answer the question.
I'm listening to your question.
Answer it.
What you mean? We have went through the. I ain't gonna say we have went to them. We are second highest because Indians are completely gone. So we're not gonna act like we're not.
Stop. You're not answering the question, bro.
I said we are second.
No, listen to what I said.
What other people?
Listen to her question.
Name
another race,
another racial group that has experienced what black people have experienced by being kidnapped. Okay. Brought here forcibly and enslaved.
Nobody.
Okay. So nobody, you can compare us in our situation to nobody.
That's what I said.
Because they were all willing participants.
Indians weren't even brought here. They were here already and got killed. So that's not even the same thing.
All I said, we're not winning. I mean, y'all kind of said the same thing.
But you have to understand the circumstances of why we're not winning. And you're making a comparison to something that's not equal.
What you mean? I just said they seen people that was behind the time and took advantage of it. What is the difference between
Virgil, you're jumping around in the conversation and you're not listening.
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No. You're telling me that they grabbed us. I know that. They had guns and weapons. They are ahead of the curve. That's why they got us.
Why is that ahead of us?
Okay, not even. Okay, so if you really want to do that, let's go back.
Damn,
let's go back. Do you know what the fuck the Moors are?
Why would we
stop, because it's education. So now
everybody want
because he's just stupid. He's just stupid.
Everybody wants domination.
And I'm realizing that.
Are you serious?
Okay.
Are you telling me
Hang
in
on.
Africa
Virgil, stop. Virgil.
They wasn't fighting for the land. This how
Virgil.
What?
Virgil.
They wasn't trying to dominate the other group.
Virgil.
They was.
Virgil.
It's just the white man came in and got in between.
Okay,
and
look.
took people.
Listen, because you're sounding stupid right now. Stop. I'm about to tell you. Shut up.
Stupid. How?
Shut up.
Okay, go ahead. I want to hear it.
I just said shut up.
All right, go for it. I'm listening.
You're still talking.
I'm obviously
Stop.
waiting. I'm waiting.
Stop.
I'm waiting. Go.
You're not understanding the history. White people was motherfuckers that had black plague and was dying out before black people taught them how to wash their asses. So your idea of what their strength and their power was, understand where that came from. You talking about something that is the middle of something. That's not the beginning of it. History has not always been white people having the upper hand. So before you get to rambling about something, times in history have changed. Them motherfuckers was nothing before we taught them anything. Do you understand that? Do you know that? No. I'm asking you a question. Answer the question. That's a yes or no question. That's a yes or no question.
We taught them something. But why is it like a problem that I said that?
That's a yes or no question.
What is a yes or yes? We taught them something.
Okay, cool.
We taught them something.
Okay.
What does that mean? All I said was behind the curve, not in certain categories. I gotta say certain categories? Fine. We talking about to wipe their ass, make a toilet, lights and all that shit. Who gives a fuck? The motherfuckers came through with guns.
You didn't have no electricity. You wouldn't be talking right now. So somebody better give a fuck.
And they gave the black people guns. You can go kill that group of people, and then we'll just take. You don't want them. You don't want that people. You don't like them. We'll take that. So it's not like they were just ahead of the curve.
Time. I don't know if that's.
That is the fact.
No. Just relax. I don't know if that's necessarily accurate. Like, what he's saying is we were like beyond advanced in every which way. I think the difference, at least when I read stuff, is our initial shit was not always like conquest. Like we found them and was like, hey, we're going to teach
knowledge,
you. Yeah, we're going to
education,
teach
things
you
such as that. Just because you came in and beat us at a game that we weren't playing doesn't mean that you're smarter than us, because that game that you played has now made society digress to a place that is detrimental to our existence.
Let me tell you. Hang on.
You just said they're winning. They got the one up. They had the advantage.
I said was ahead of the curve. That's all I said. Never said nobody was smart.
I would say this point. Ahead of the curve, and it sounds like a little out there, seeing as how we're living in this time frame. But if you would look at like the time with which I would say we might have dominated the world to the time that they have, it's like this. And to me, it's kind of already fucking up. You have vast, like us right now, from the time of like my grandparents to now, the progress of, oh, y'all was doing shit this way, and it's been fucking up left and right. So their dominance, I feel like, feels like it's so white people dominant because we're living in it right now. But if you would look at this thing on its whole, it was a short, it's almost like if you looked at like, if us being even like on a level of genetically dominant, everything came from Africa, it's like your little brother cousin trying to like pop you one time in a fight. They got a good punch in if you look at it as a whole. So I like them being ahead of the curve is just not I would say not the proper viewpoint. Your point of them actually having like a foothold isn't wrong. Just the view that they have like this mass dominance over is a little skewed.
That's what Babe was trying to explain to you.
Yeah.
It was that there is a whole world history that existed before white people began colonizing. There was a whole world happening in which people... Okay.
I know that.
So what are you saying then,
All I'm saying is right now. All I said was right now they're winning. I didn't say nothing wrong. I mean, we're not winning. I'm just saying that. Now, if we fall back and we got our shit together, we'll be obviously on top. But we're not like that as a group of people. I'm not saying nothing wrong.
I can kind of roll with I can kind of roll with that point. As it stands now, they are still in a position of power. At least, I guess, as it would stand in this country. I haven't visited a lot of other places.
I just want you
to
understand that has not been the existence of the world forever. That, to their point, from the beginning,
the refusal of acknowledgement of the past history, to me, is what helps prevent a lack of strength. We always constantly talk about knowing our history and knowing what we were and knowing all these things. So if that's your belief of history, to me, that's a lack of understanding, and that provides you a lack of overcoming. That provides you a lack of ability to overcome. When you don't understand history and you don't truly understand how this shit really went and how everything really went, you don't truly acknowledge your power and who you are and what you can do and what this shit really was and what it probably is the right order of things. That's the problem, is that when you're only acknowledging that, you're only acknowledging that order of things, and that's not right, is what I'm trying to get him to understand. And it's not enough time for you to be considering winning. To me, if you've been losing for, like, that's what I talked about back in the car when we were talking about keeping things in context. If you win, if you go on a 20-0 run, if you're down by 50 points and in the third quarter you go on a 20-0 run, you're not winning the game now. Mm-hmm. That's what I want niggas to understand. When you talk about winning, you just got some momentum. You're not even up. You just got some momentum right now.
I agree with you.
But that's my whole point of trying to get him to understand is right now, this game is in the third quarter, say. And we was up by 50 going into the third quarter, and white people went on a 20-0 run.
Yeah, but I would say maybe not just him, but like many people just don't have that information.
It doesn't matter how many people don't have the information. Wrong is wrong. And that's why if we have to start with one person and stopping the one person from knowing it, I can't reach everybody yet. But he's sitting right here in this room with me. He's somebody I care about, somebody I know. What I want him to understand is the idea of winning and what the idea of this history is. I would not let Verge play in a game and do that. Just because you got a little momentum in the moment, everybody's going to make a run in every game that you play that's quote-unquote competitive. Everybody's going to make a run. So for what you're seeing right now might just be their run. But when you look at history and how long history goes, that puts things in context of how long they're really quote-unquote been winning. And when you look at it by comparison, even you yourself will go, yeah, they win it in the moment, but long term, this is not this is not how things last. This is not the order of things, and this is not how things work. And therefore, you'll start to understand how this game is really played. That's my whole point. Is I don't want you to look at the moment. The moment is fleeting. Look at the bigger picture. That way, you'll see everything in context for what it is, what it isn't, what it can be, what it should be, what it's going to be. You can see the whole game. But when you get tunnel vision and you can't see the whole game, you're fucked. That's what I want you to understand. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. But the only way you're going to understand that is knowing the history of something. Understanding the present, and then, therefore, you will be able to project the past, understand the future, project the future, or have some insight on what's going to happen there. But with this, where you're just living in there winning and this stuff and not giving enough acknowledgement to what happened prior to this, that puts you in a bad position, little bro. That's all I'm telling you. For me, that's all I'm telling you. That's the only reason I want to stop you. And like, I understand you know that part. And you acknowledge that part. It's the same part of the Kobe conversation. Just because you don't place a value on it doesn't mean that it diminishes what the actual value of that is. That's just what that is.
Like, we literally don't have math without black people.
Like, you understand that? Like, so, like, what does our money system come from? Where do we count? Where do we do all that from if we don't have the ability to add, subtract, and move this the way we do? That's the whole point, is that a lot of these things that white people have put on a pedestal and made a lot of their principles that they live by and a lot of what they do is based on what we create.
I adopted it, yeah.
So you just adapt. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, babe.
I do kind of think, one, what you guys are saying is right. I think for the average Joe, like, you just kind of have to, I don't know, don't give them a pass, but you got to kind of meet people with that, like, because bombarding them sometimes with the information makes motherfuckers push away. But to kind of build on it. But I do think the more I've like thought back on this conversation, I kind of just think this was like the largest fucking miscommunication ever. Because you seem to like not know what we talking about. It just, I feel like you were talking so much about that one specific.
The miscommunication is understood, but what it is the reluctance to accept the new and actual factual information that still exists with that. That duality of things still exists. Yes, there still has been a time when they're currently up in this moment, but there still has what this moment does not cancel history. That's all that I'm saying.
No, I wouldn't. I definitely would agree with that.
Okay, so that was my only
thing I
point
take from Verge's point that I do kind of like, because it's almost like I don't know, like mildly stoic-y, where it's like control the now. Now, where we are living, we are fucked up. So that makes us now. I don't know that. I like us having all this knowledge, but I think sometimes that might put people in a position. Hang on. I think that might put people in a position where they get lackluster. Like Verge's approach gives you urgency to go, all right, fuck, we gotta fix this shit. Like, I know some shit, we was great, but right now we not great. So now, like you said on the court, now I want to go to the sideline. Okay, and I need to write up a play.
But when a nigga start to say, like, I don't know, it's just power in words to me. When I say that it's just a moment where we down, like, we still got a chance to fight. That's just my thing. That's why I give the analogy that the game is still going. When niggas is like, I'm not going to associate winning to a nigga that's like, while we still in progress. I don't say the word win or lose until the game is down, till it's over. Like, if we don't have enough as many points as the other team, I'm not saying we losing. I'm like, yo, we down right now by this much. Winning and losing is just conceding too much. I feel like there's power in words. And maybe that's just me, and I'm very specific about a lot of things that I do and a lot of things that I give power to. But the idea of winning and losing, to me, if I see Verge having a fight and a nigga walk up in the moment that Verge been whooping this nigga ass the whole fight, but when somebody walk up, the nigga just got 3 punches in on Verge. Somebody, he whooping Verge ass. No, he not. He just went on a little flurry and got 3 punches off. He been getting his ass whooped for 5 minutes, though. You can't let that moment become what something is forever. Mm-hmm. That's just my whole point. And it's so much shit that we take from our past. Like, now more than ever, when you look at somebody like Jeff Bezos being brought up as the richest man ever, people then bring up the history of, like, no, Mansa Musa was somebody who had this much money, and in this time, this would be this much money. Mm-hmm. The richest man in history is still a black person. Like, that's those histories of things. To me, that gives a power. That just does. And when we look at something like Kobe Bryant and how a basketball player can affect people and things in time, I think we have to look at our people from our history and generationally what we have done and what we have accomplished, because there's some power in that for somebody somewhere.
And where I want to give a little pushback, I understand your point, Verge, of what you're saying about what's happening right now. But here's what I want to say for that. When you think about the phase and the stage that black people are in this country, in the world, right now. Think about the fact that if you use the language of white people, like the quote you just gave, white people took control of everything and just gave us Christianity. It's
I just said Christian. I just said the Bible.
Or the Bible. Okay, yeah. Whatever. My point is that if we continue to talk like that to ourselves, about ourselves, what we do is create victimhood. Right? We say, well, damn, what can I do? The white people got everything, and I'm just over here with the Bible. I ain't got shit. And then when we don't know that the history is that we've had shit for all these years, we believe that. And then people just end up feeling helpless. And you just keep the same cycle of continuing of, this is just the way it is, and I got to figure out how to survive in this. It can never be different because it's never been different. So that's the power of knowing that this has not always been, and it does not always have to be, is when you acknowledge that, then you choose different words. But if that's the way we talk about it, if that's the way we talk about the status that we're in now, the status that we're in now, then people don't realize that. Like, people just feel like this is history. This is how black people always been in the world. This is how it's always going to be in the world. Not saying that you feel that way. I'm saying a lot of people feel that way. Like, a lot of people don't know and don't acknowledge that things have been different because they really feel like black people have just always been slaves. Shit has always been fucked up. It's never been different. So it's important to say things a certain way.
Okay, that was my bad. You're right. It is powers in word. It is. But if it was up to me, tear this motherfucker down. I feel what I'm saying.
I feel you, and I feel you.
I think everything comes with time.
That's not.
I think
yeah,
everything
that's
comes
not
with
a bad
time.
way to
I
be.
don't want you to
I'm
feel
fine.
like you the first motherfucker that said that and felt that though.
Oh no, I lie people too.
And I don't want you to feel like you the strongest motherfucker that said that and felt that though. That's what I want you to acknowledge too, nigga. Like, you have to understand that it's Malcolm, it's FOIs, it's a bunch of motherfuckers who got a lot longer reach than you that want to tear this motherfucker down too. So put your ass on some ice and figure out how you can fit in and figure out what you can do and sit your happy ass down and do that.
That's a lot.
That was a lot.
Fucking Shade Room just
That's a
posted Javante Davis pulled up on his baby mama at an event and snatched her up with the snatch. Did you see that, Mercedes? Mercedes, what the fuck are you doing? What kind of program director are you? You need to be looking up shit. And yeah, I don't know. She's the only nigga. Whoever don't have a mic that day is just the program director. I don't know. That's how we do shit around here. Whatever nigga ain't got the mic, just got the job.
No, that's some hardcore study ago though, but I'm not even remotely getting next to that.
Nah, but yeah, man. What do you do in that situation? Like a boxer just roll up. Did you guys see the nigga that was sitting next to her? He put his head down and walked away. He's like, I don't even know.
He don't want no smoke with that. That's
terrible.
I don't know. I would let it be known now. My daughter ever date a boxer, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah, daughter. You talking about? I'm old now, bro. I'm gonna shoot the shit out y'all. Yeah.
Like my son date a female boxer. I might shoot you. You think you gonna be sending my son home crying to me with black eyes and broken jaws because you feel like he should be cooking dinner after you finish training? No, hey, I'll kill you, bitch.
You know more than anybody. Big Tim stay ready. Like, he stays physically ready. That nigga committed like maybe 10 years ago. I'm not fighting no more. Like, you run up on me, I'm gonna put some hoppers in your ass. I don't give a fuck. I'm not. It's just like I'm not
like to be a championship boxer. Like, he snatched shorty up by the neck at a public basketball game. She was on the front row. She had to go past every road to get out the door.
That's so humiliating.
Like, I want to look at him like where what is your first start?
The front, nigga, like in your facial area.
Get over here.
Like, I just I don't know how to fuck to how would you explain that away? Like, I don't even know like. What?
What always makes me sad is the reaction of women in that situation. She's not even jarred by that. So that lets me know that whatever is happening has been worse than just that. You don't even, she was like, here we go with this bullshit again. Like, it's not even like,
you gonna do this in front of everybody now?
Oh my God. Like, there was no fear
and for that reason,
like,
to come. And for that reason, if I'm her father, brother, anybody that, like, if my daughter really got snatched up like that by a nigga who boxed and she didn't have no reaction, I'm just going to get my gun. I'm putting some hot shit in his ass and we're gonna talk about it later. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Like, I'm not even a nigga.
She might not have her dad in her life though. You know her.
I feel you. Yeah. That's cool.
I don't know. I just might. I don't know.
If a bitch walk up and put her hands on you like that, I'm gonna put some hot shit in that bitch. She gonna get some Teflon tampons, and then me and this bitch gonna have to figure it out. We gonna figure it out later, cause I'm putting some hot shit in this bitch ass.
Yeah, I don't.
If nigga come put his hands on Nene like that, as long as I got breath, I'm coming to put some hot shit in your ass, and I'm yeah, we gonna figure it out later. Ours don't even know how to let a nigga choke him. She gonna put some hot shit in your ass and call me. So
I'm over there. Had his wife. She said,
yeah. So that's just different, my nigga. That's some shit where you done really got some shit put on you, like, and that's just sad. Like she said, bro, that it's that you done got fucked up so much. You accustomed to it.
She probably think that's love.
That's true too, and that's a sad part.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like Super Bowl week. What made but like that? You know, that's some normal shit because it's Super Bowl weekend in Miami, my nigga. It's cameras everywhere. Everywhere.
Like I'm.
You shouldn't even go pee in Miami because it's a camera in the bathroom.
Like, I feel bad for her, obviously, but I'm looking at him like, what level of crazy are you? Like you saying, it's Super Bowl weekend. I'm like one of the premier championship. Everybody know my face.
Everybody.
You know what would be good? I'm gonna choke this motherfucker in front of everybody. It's a billion people. Like, there's people on the corners of the whole. Like, it's a people filter.
Gym. Fuck that.
Dog.
It was a basketball gym. The nigga walked in and flipped up his collar and came in and choked the bitch and thought didn't nobody recognize him. What the fuck?
You gotta be crazy as fuck to be a boxer anyway. Like, to get your shit punched in for a living.
Yeah. It's an invincibility factor that goes with it. I think that's what you have to do anything, though. You have to have a level of, like, that invincibility factor. I think boxing specifically, because, like, we do this podcast shit. The level of invincibility I need to speak on this mic is way different than I gotta have to feel like a nigga won't knock my teeth out, and then tomorrow and the day after that I won't have to eat mashed potatoes for the rest of my life. Like, whatever, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Peeing out blood. Yeah,
all types of shit.
Yeah, that's some different shit. But I
wanted to be a boxer one day. I did.
But
your size, you would have been fighting.
But you didn't because you got some sense.
No, I did because my mom didn't pay for it. That's really why I didn't do it. She wanted to pay for it. That was
Child, somebody would have
man.
beat your shit in one time version.
Low-key.
Hey, real quick.
You'd have really, the nigga we looked at would have been the nigga you'd have had to fight, actually. Ain't that the same size?
They do.
Wow.
They do. They get
Hey, yo.
Hey,
That would have been some
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
I could have won.
Let me tell you something.
I like to be hopeful.
Let me tell you something.
So you think you could rock Javante? Because
Let me
y'all,
tell
that's your weight class.
My height
That's your weight
range,
class. That's 100% the nigga
Let me
you
tell you
gonna
something. Let me
fight.
tell you
Not right now.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
That'd be
something.
too late.
Let me tell you something. 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 Hold on. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When they got to put the uncle voice over there, let me tell you something. You grew up with way too much love.
What you mean?
No. Like, and
No, that's
hear
the
me
bar.
out. Hear me out. Like, hear me
Yeah.
out with this. Hear me out with this. For real. You grew up with too much love in your life to be a boxer.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm your cousin, and I can remember hugging you. Like, when you listen to a nigga like, yeah, like, I gave you love, and I'm your cousin, nigga.
Okay.
Like, let me tell you something. Mike Tyson himself,
What that shit he said about
the
his
nigga
son.
told his son came to him and said, I want to be a boxer.
No,
Mike
you
Tyson
don't.
said, oh, gosh, no.
I like
And he said, I told my son no, because I said, oh, my God, I can only imagine you running into somebody like me. I said, can you imagine my son fighting me? Oh, my God, like, I had no love. Nobody had ever hugged me. My son grew up with love and food. Like, I had no... The nigga said my son grew up with love and food, nigga.
Nothing else. Just love and food. That's all you need.
You know how much a nigga lacked when he felt like love and food was all that he needed?
He was
The
fighting for love
nigga
and
real life. No. And when we look back at it, the nigga say, like, I didn't get a hug. My first hug in my life was after I had sparred and Customato hugged me at the dinner table. He said that was my first time I could remember somebody hugging me. The nigga, and you want to know why the first two things out his mouth is he run into somebody who fights for love and food. The first time the nigga can remember consciously getting hugged was at the dinner table. Those two, those are correlations. You fed me and you loved me. Like, you get what I'm saying? A nigga fought for that. Bro, I love you to death, and you being a boxer would only land me in jail for life because I would have to kill the nigga who hit you too hard.
Look, I'm sorry, y'all. I decided to do something stupid and venture into the comments of that post.
Okay, let's do it real quick.
The girls
that's
in there going
terrible.
crazy. Yeah.
No.
That's love. You know, girls be like that all the time.
It's
There's a lot of girls like that.
No, it's a lot of people going, wow, that's crazy. How embarrassing. Then four comments down, the nigga says, y'all don't understand. Some of these girls is crazy.
Wow.
That was your takeaway?
No, wait. Hold on.
From that brief clip?
Hold on. Did you slide to the next clip and see what she was doing?
Oh no, I didn't go that far.
Did you guys slide? Did you guys slide to the next? Okay. In the next video, if you guys would have slid to the next video, you would have seen that she was sitting courtside at a charity basketball game, politely minding her business, not showing any cleavage, with glasses on, with another woman, not flirting with anybody. To me, I don't know where this bitch gets off. Just enjoying herself with no other men around. She wasn't drinking. She wasn't smoking. She just thinks she gonna sit there. Titties wasn't out. She wasn't twerking. She had a nice pair of glasses and a nice jacket on. Who is this bitch?
Get off doing that to me.
Get off embarrassing me by being a wholesome motherfucking mother to my child and being a respectful woman while she's out at a charity basketball game opposed to being in a fucking strip club Super Bowl weekend in Miami. Who is this bitch?
But go back and watch him choke her
and that's
now.
exactly what he mean when them bitches is crazy.
Watch him choke her with that
shit like that
coming out his mouth. Bitch, you gonna sit here and look like you somebody's mama and
perfectly respectable.
Yo, that makes
she
that
wasn't
shit 10 times
twerking.
funnier.
She wasn't showing her titties. Yeah. She wasn't being disrespectful. She literally was sitting there with her friend taking a nice little boomerang. And then this bitch, who the fuck is this bitch to get off being respectful and representing me properly?
Where's the one?
He didn't like that she got fly. He didn't like that she got fly.
Is that what it was?
He made him mad.
In the
that made him mad. I know it made him mad.
It would be sad. I would be so sad if I knew somebody that commented in the comments of this video.
I don't know.
This is ghetto. A woman. If a woman watched that video and what she came up with was, This is ghetto. I don't want to know you, ma'am.
Bruh.
I don't want to know nothing
That
about you.
giant nigga to the left just got up and
Got
said,
up
"This ain't
and
even.
turned-
This ain't
he
even
got
none of
up
my
and
That
business."
nigga put his whole body. He bent
said-
down to like
that
yo,
nigga
let me
said,
just
"Oh."
duck just in case this nigga feel like
Oh,
I'm with
over.
her.
Oh no, I'm good.
got up and
Yeah, I'm gonna
turned
go and
right.
get.
Yeah, that was one of them like, yo, oh shit, son, oh. You can tell that nigga tried to flirt with her before he got there, and she was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm
You
good.
can tell
thanks.
that old boy kind of a little off though.
No, but like in reality, when you look at that, I don't know what she did like preceding that or whatever,
Yeah.
but she was sitting there looking perfectly respectable, not drawing attention, not being this. Even when you grabbed her, she didn't make no big ass scenes. She really just backpedaled.
What about
It's a
the
big nigga in
bodyguards,
the
though?
back
The
in a gray
bodyguards had
shirt
his
that
back, though.
jumped.
You could tell they just be
Wow.
They was just like, yep, grab the bitch.
I don't think it's that. I think it was more so like
That's
bodyguards,
Yeah,
like
they've
just
seen that
hear
many
me
times.
out,
Yeah.
relax.
Yeah.
You could tell by their reaction. They was just like, grab her, hurry up, let's get out of here.
A lot of what bodyguards do
They want the money.
it's not just that. It's still to not make the client look bad. If you're grabbing just hear me out. As a security, I'm only gonna tell y'all as a security guard, if that's happening and she's moving, then you let them move out. You let them go. If she would have fought back, then you grab her. I mean, you grab him and you try to get him on. If they gonna move, let's just get this out of here. I know it's not right, but if we sit here and I grab you, she fights back, and then it becomes a struggle in the middle of this aisle that takes this video from a 7-second we pushing out to a 30-second fight in the middle of this aisle. Get this away
damn,
from
you can't
cameras.
beat
Their
this
job
bitch
is
in
to
private.
always get you in private and figure it out. It's never to
Shit.
try to settle nothing in the public.
Yeah, I think that's just
crazy.
when I quit my job. Like if
No,
the guy
agreed,
I
yeah.
defend walk up and try to choke slam lady mama out of the room, that's the day I quit, bro. You on your own, my nigga. I don't want.
But
I
at the
don't
end of
want
the
a
day,
job
in
bad.
that moment, you're still following your procedure for her safety. You might quit after this nigga no longer around this bitch. After y'all get back to the hotel and to the Fountain Blue, you might tell a nigga like, bro, I'm gonna pack my shit. I'm going back to Cleveland real quick. I ain't fucking with this. But in the moment of this nigga got this bitch by the throat, you not finna quit. Cause who knows what this bitch gonna do, what he gonna do to this bitch when you off the clock.
Yeah, these dudes be wild. You can tell he didn't have a lot of girls back then.
Like sometimes a nigga be in the wrong for all the right reasons.
Care about that shit. That security guy was like, "Well, I heard the XFL was doing tryouts, man. I'm gonna
Hey,
go
some
ahead and
people
Yeah, nigga be like, nah. I'm
Yeah,
finna go.
like, damn, man,
To be
I-
honest, some guys just can't handle
Brown
being
type
with a
of-
girl. That's just like what it is. Some guys.
No,
Nigga,
some
that's
niggas
not-
can handle being
yeah.
with a woman. Some niggas can handle being with a girl. Some niggas can handle being with a woman.
Yeah, it's too
Niggas
much.
need
Like
to go
to
to
me, that's
therapy.
one of them things where it's just like it's a huge insecurity thing because it's in reality, especially with celebrity niggas, and this is just from somebody who has been around a nigga who's blown up a lot of women in the industry. I'll just say that. The problem with that shit be like those moments where you get to trying to make her accept that you blew her up, but everything else is combating that. That makes sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
so,
like the time. I just want to make sure I got this right. You being the celebrity talking to the woman who got big off of your success, you explaining that to her that she's big because of you.
yes, but there's other thing. Now there's outside shit.
Yeah, I'm
that's
not
like-
doing that.
Okay, so cool. It's like this. It's like this. So a rapper baby mama hit the gram. She blow up. She get 100,000 followers while they together. After they break up, she get to doing the Fashion Nova ads. She get the body, whatever the shit is that she do. She get her shit up from 100,000 to 1 million.
Oh, please. Do.
Now there's 900,000 people that don't know me for being Woo Woo Woo's baby mama. They just know me for being a model, Instagram model, whatever. So now when a nigga want to get in one of those modes and be like, bitch, I made you, that shit starts to fuck with a nigga ego because there's so much other shit that disproves that. You get what I'm saying? Like for him, he probably feel like, what the fuck have you done as my baby mama to be in the spotlight? It's the little...
See, now.
But I didn't even know who she was. Like,
Well, no.
now,
See, my thing is like I would never. I can't say I'd ever go off and just say that there's really not that many good reasons. But I wouldn't 100% work in absolutes and say there's never a reason for you to go off on any given person. But that scenario right there to me is like you said, ego. It's like if I'm somebody who's a certain status or whatever, like you have to. I don't know, like. Maybe I've been a regular nigga too long, but for me, I'm like, okay, she big off of me, but go be big without me. If you're a celebrity, and even that thought process, even that thought process doesn't make sense to me. It's like me and this person we're together. She's big as my lady or whatever. We not a thing no more. Then you go on.
And
Like,
let me
I have
give
nothing to do with that.
Let me give my comments insight because a lot of shit that I propose or I give thoughts to are not my feelings. They're conversations and intimate thoughts that I've had with niggas that I know and niggas who understand that I care about them, who will let their guard down and expose some of the fuck shit about themselves, hoping to be able to purge that from their systems. I strictly use that as just examples from my experiences. In no way do I believe that that's a suitable thing or a suitable behavior to even believe that you made somebody hot. People are hot on their own. People are what they are on their own. That ain't got shit to do with shit. My thing is just I want to provide the insight or even just provide some insight that I have received from actual niggas who in theory and in practice do this shit.
I will say this. I stand on the idea that, like, because I don't like any of this absolute that nobody can do anything. Now, if it come out of some shit, that old nigga that she talking to fucked around, you know, touched his kid, and he got all right to, like, go ape shit. I just like to throw out there scenarios where nigga can fucking wild out. But 9 times out of 10, this nigga wilding and should probably be, like, condemned. Because I don't know. I don't even watch. I watch him more on the internet than I see his fights of him just doing what seems like, I don't know. If I'm his friend, I'd be like, sit down, my nigga, sit down.
Not to be funny, that shows you how great of a fighter a nigga is.
What, you got an ego?
Well, you undefeated, but don't nobody got no footage of that. Like, you
no, legit. Like, it's way more him fucking. And
it's something that's just completely completely different because in the boxing world he's Tank. Like in the shade room he's Gervonta Davis, but like people in the boxing world call this nigga Tank Davis. Like he's somebody who really runs through oppositions and has to find fights.
And I don't know. You can't tell a grown man what to do, but I always feel like, you know, well, maybe I like to personally feel like I surround myself with people who can put me in check. Because you just got to have somebody in your corner whose job is nothing more than sit your ass down.
No, yourself. Yourself.
Clearly,
fuck all that. Even as yourself.
He can't be checked. I'm
sorry.
The
the only person that could check you is yourself. Fuck all that bullshit. Somebody can help you realize what you're doing in the moment, but you still got to catch yourself. Nobody can check nobody. Can't check yourself. Man, fuck that. Check yourself. Be grown. Go ahead, Verge. Finish this up, man. We finna close out.
I forgot what to say. Shit. You said everything, really.
All right, give a shout out. Do something.
Shout out to myself. You said give a shout out. You know, I'm a great person. You know. Shout out to everybody in here. Yeah. Shout out to my mama. She had me.
Oh yeah. Sorry to y'all who sent the questions, and we'll get to them next week. I promise you.
We'll answer them on the Instagram. Titties, big ass titties. Thank you, Nene, for coming.
Do that.
Thank you. Thank you for everybody pulling up. Thank y'all for listening, man. We appreciate y'all. Just the best podcast. We out.
On the second shut-in list, y'all pray for Lil Wayne.
Y'all pray for Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne. His skin look like a leather jacket.
He don't look well. Pray for him.